What would it be like to live in 2050? Let's find out. Let's start with robots and AI. Robots in 2050 will be way more advanced than they are today. They will be everywhere, taking positions as helpers or cooks, and even construction workers. Robotic dogs and pets will be very popular. Robots will replace cashiers, no more waiting in line. AI and microchips will be in everything, and our clothing and furniture. Everything will be connected to the internet. Cell phones will be no longer necessary, as brain chips will allow us to control computers without any physical interaction. We'll be able to control things and communicate with our minds. Virtual reality will dominate. And not just gaming, almost everything we do will be through virtual reality. Shopping, designing. Holograms will be the new FaceTime. If you want to talk to somebody, you'll have their hologram appear right in front of you. Now, next, let's look at transportation. What will transportation look like in 2050? By 2050, most cars on the road will be electric. They will also fully drive themselves. Semi-trucks will also be fully autonomous and electric. Most cars will be able to get thousands of miles per charge. A full charge in 2 minutes, wirelessly. No more gas stations. Drones will be very big in 2050. There will be thousands of fleets delivering packages to people. Companies like Airbus and Uber are looking to make their own drone taxis. We will finally have flying cars, but also underground roads. Perhaps Hyperloop, a train in a vacuum which can go up to 700 miles per hour, which can get you from LA to San Francisco in about 40 minutes. Companies like SpaceX and Blue Origin are looking to use rockets to transport people. Rockets would allow us to get from New York City to London in 20 minutes. And next, let's take a look at energy in 2050. What kind of energy sources will we use by 2050? Well, we all know the trend of solar, it's going down in price. Solar and wind and other renewables will provide most of the electricity by 2050. We will have solar technology in our paint and even solar windows. Solar will be very cheap and efficient. It'll be in almost everything. Battery technology is going to be amazing in 2050. Batteries are important for storing the energy during the night. And by 2050, batteries will be more advanced and efficient. You can have cars that go thousands of miles on a single charge. A battery the size of a laptop which can supply a whole house of power. Also, fusion. The company ITER is working on a nuclear fusion reactor right now, and by 2050 it could be ready for the world to use. Fusion would allow us to get seemingly infinite amounts of energy with little resources. It's not ready yet, but perhaps by 2050 it will change the way we do energy forever. And next in 2050, space. What will space travel look like by 2050? Well, I got one word for you guys. Mars. By 2050, we could have 1 million people living on Mars. Mars is going to be the hotspot for space travel. Now, Mars is dangerous, but we'll have protected domes with greenhouses, or perhaps underground homes to protect against the radiation, and we definitely would need our spacesuits. We will finally begin to colonize Mars by 2050. Also hot in 2050 will be space tourism. Perhaps we'll have vacationers visiting the moon. We will see more private companies like SpaceX and Blue Origins. They will use their rockets to give us tours through space. And perhaps we'll have the first asteroid miners by 2050. There's all kinds of valuable metals like gold and silver and platinum in asteroids. Perhaps a new industry will emerge in space called asteroid mining. And that may change the world forever. Now up next in 2050, our food. What kind of food will people be eating in 2050? By 2050, there's expected to be 2 billion more people on the planet, and they all gotta eat. One of the most resource-intensive foods is meat. A lot of our land, crops, and water goes to the animals, and processed meats are unhealthy and making us sick. By 2050, more people will be going plant-based, vegetarian, and vegan. Plant-based meats are gonna be dominating. Lab-grown meat will also be popular. Animal farming will be dramatically reduced, and plant-based farming will again dominate, especially vertical farming. Vertical farms take up way less land and water, and by 2050, they will be popping up all over cities across the world. Gene modification techniques will also help us get more yield from our crops. This type of farming will be way more efficient and help us feed more people.